What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Second City Sports Talk. I'm Keaton here with Papa Bear. Baseball season is fully underway, and the Cubs, who seem to, revert every year back into the global losers that we used to know, they've been arguably bad. I hate to say it, but this is an alarming start.
It's a rough start to the season. I mean, they're 4-5. I mean, we weren't expecting them to, go out gangbusters, but, we've had 2 series against the Pirates. We kind of expected to win some of those games, and last couple of games have been really disappointing.
Let's just go a quick recap. Yeah. We started off, obviously, opener was, Hendricks kind of just, being uncharacteristically, what would you call it?
Non-Hendricks-like.
Let's put it that way. We rebounded, got 3 straight wins against the Pirates, Brewers. I was beginning to think, maybe we will get something going. The bats have not been going, and that caught up to us, and we've now lost, 3 out of our last 4 games. And these last 2 losses to the Pirates have been devastating.
Yeah, anytime you're losing to what you kind of consider a bad team, it just makes it feel worse, especially when they're just blowing you out.
We've been outscored 15-3 in our last 2 games. That's terrible.
That's rough. I mean, the thing about it is, you weren't expecting a ton out of this, and there were a couple of nice highlights in the beginning of it. Yeah. But when the bats aren't going well, and when their pitching is just not strong. I mean, the bullpen's coming on pretty well. We'll talk about that later. But it's when the bats aren't going and the pitching aren't going, things are not going to go well. It's just not. You're not going to have a good game out of that.
I think yesterday was, in fact, for me, almost even scarier than the previous day. We lost 7-1. Yeah. And what was scary to me about it was just how uninspired our players looked. When we got guys on base, there was just it seemed no effort. Guys were swinging at pitches far outside of the zone, and it felt like everyone just wanted to make that play that was going to switch things around, and it never happened.
Well, that's what happens when you try too hard. When things aren't going your way, when we're batting. I mean, I know we'll talk about. We're batting last in the league right now. Right?
168 batting average. That is by far the worst. I mean, I think the second worst is 190. This past game was really so frustrating. I mean, we had our opportunities. We had KB on third, and I think what was it Jock Peterson on first, and with no outs, and nothing came of that. Our next 3 guys strike out, fly out, and then fly out again. It was just bad. Yeah,
we're in 4th place in the division right now. I mean, right behind the Pirates.
Honestly, we should be happy to be 4-5 because we're not that far behind. 4 wins is the way the stats would argue right now that we should have lost way more games so far. We should be 2-7 right now.
The bats are tough right now because the Cubs really do. They have for many years sort of relied on the big ball. The sort of the home run. A lot of RBIs from that kind of stuff, and we got 10 homers in 10 games. You'd think that's not too bad. 25 runs from that, not great. And it just means guys are pushing. They're trying too hard, and we need to get guys on base. It feels like make something happen.
I've seen guys like Rizzo who they're so reliant in past years. Rizzo, he comes up to bat, he's gonna make contact. He chokes up, and you're like, okay, he's gonna single, he's gonna do something. And it's just I've been seeing so many ground outs from Rizzo. It's honestly. Yeah. It's not good.
I wrote that 81 strikeouts and 238 at bats. That's just, you can't do that. But that's again, the Cubs of old have been that way. We haven't been great in the past many years.
I know there's still a chance that obviously I think the Cubs are really streaky always for the past 3 years because they've been super streaky when it comes to bats. And I'm sure they'll go through their high streaks where they're hitting well, but to see this, it reminds me so much of the Cubs batting in the second half of last season and in the second half of 2019 as well, where it's just we get guys on base. We're not driving in any runs. We're over-reliant on the home run completely right now.
Yeah, we got to talk about pitching.
Yeah.
It's
First of all, the pitching has not been the main problem. Obviously, those last 2 games, I like to think that they're anomalies because, every pitcher has their bad games, and, It's going to happen, especially with, our it was the end of the line rotation. Davies was a little bit surprising. I didn't expect him to struggle as much as he did. Right. Trevor Williams, I mean,
they both had good starts. They both had their first outing was good. So you kind of expect them to come back, and they really struggled early on in the game. You got to bring the bullpen in, and then you got to get a lot of hits. It's not just you're down 2-1 or 3-1. You're down 7-1.
The Pirates cracked off 16 hits against the Cubs today.
Well, they're streaky too. The Pirates are going to streak, but it's too bad they kind of had a streak.
The problem is we're playing against, as you've described them in the past, the hapless Pirates.
Well, I mean, lovable losers, hapless Pirates. What do you like? You take one or the other name. Hey, but you know what? We're always fans. What has gone good? There's been a couple of
Arrieta's been good. He's 2-0 so far. Yeah. Exactly what we needed. When the Cubs picked up Arrieta, they weren't expecting Cy Young 2015 form Arrieta. They just wanted a guy who could go out there with his veteran presence and keep games close and have some poise in the tough situations, you know, and he's been great so far as that goes. Trevor Williams had a great first start, had a, not a good game, an abominable game today. Hendricks, he recovered a little bit in the second game. The Cubs still lost, but that was mostly on the batting. Yeah. And Davies, I haven't seen anything crazy impressive.
Well, they were saying his start yesterday was the worst of his career ever.
Yeah.
That's honestly run score ever. So that's an outlier. But that's not going to happen again.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
There's something in his head going on. But Kimbrel has been also very good. Okay. Who would have thought, from thinking about how Kimbrel
Craig Kimbrel is making a statement, or making a, what would you call it?
It's not like a comeback year. It's not like a sort of just it's like you can tell he's comfortable pitching again. It looked so much last year, in the beginning of the year, especially when he was struggling.
He's been
horrible.
The definition of flawless so far.
Yeah.
14 guys he's faced, 14 outs.
Yeah.
He's coming in close situations. He has actually saved the Cubs at least 2 wins so far.
Oh yeah.
Because he came in the first game against the Pirates with bases loaded and 1 out, and he gets 5 straight guys out to win the game. It's incredible.
You can tell when a guy's kind of in. When somebody's in their zone, you can tell, you can feel that. So
he's locked in. It feels like his velocity is there. Yeah. It feels like he's hitting all of his pitches right now.
What we really need right now is for our starting pitching to do a little better. We're kind of middle of the road pitching. We need them just to get a little better, and our bullpen and then get Kimbrel into that situation. He seems like he's locked in. If we can get into the later innings, even though our batting's not doing great, if we can get to later innings with a 1-run lead, a 2-run lead, it seems like he's going to hold us there. Whereas before, you wanted a 6-run lead or a 7-run lead. Now, I kind of feel a little more comfortable after his first couple.
Well, I mean, I feel completely comfortable. I mean, can we just make Kimbrel our entire bullpen? Our entire bullpen is just Craig Kimbrel.
We can't rely on him that much. And we got to stop bringing in Alec Mills to help out with our starters. So Alzolay's tomorrow. The Brewers are back. We're away at the Brewers, right? I think this is the next game.
The key for Alzolay is to get through the first 2 innings.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if Alzolay, I've noticed in all of Alzolay's starts, if he gets through the first 2 innings, he really settles in and he starts, he feels comfortable. He starts, mixing up his pitches a lot more and really usually the batters get more comfortable to the pitchers.
Sure.
But with a guy like Alzolay, the longer he can go, the better he's going to get.
Yeah, he's new. He's young, so that's going to happen. But yeah, it's, again, been a rough start of the season. I think you all feel the same way we do about the Cubbies. It kind of feels like we were expecting a little bit. We talked about this before the season even started. This is kind of what we were thinking. We had a little spark of happiness in the beginning, and now we're kind of on that. It really feels like we're yelling a lot, not feeling too good. I didn't even get to watch the game much today.
It really feels, though, that the reason why I think this team is so uninspired is because the guys who are in big, prove it years, Javi, Bryant, and Kimbrel have been producing.
Yeah.
Kimbrel has been, like we said, flawless. Javi's been better than average. Bryant's been, arguably the best hitter on the team so far.
Yeah.
And they all had bad years the past few years. So, well, not Javi.
All right, listen, Cubbies, listen, Ross. Let's get some inspiration to you guys. Get a kick in the butt. Let's start this thing up. Let's get about 5 wins in a row, and we'll feel much better about it. Let's
no
get
pressure, guys.
No pressure.
This isn't a 60-game season. We got time.
Rossi, if you're listening, I know you got something inside of you. You went on Dancing with the Stars and killed it. You can do this. Come on, let's do this. We can keep on moving on with this team. We can do it.